A lot of people have like an idea that everything has been already like made or thought out, but it really hasn't. There's so many problems in the world. But just find a problem and try it out. I mean, you'll see very quickly if you enjoy it or not.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode show of Talk2Rami. Today, I'm sitting here with two young entrepreneurs, David and Horacio. And as you all know, this show and the platform is all about educating other people through their stories. So, these two young entrepreneurs are the founders of Boop Me. Is an application, and they're gonna explain it more, that helps people to connect more effectively. And here I go. I got David and I got Horacio. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Today it was so rainy. Like Austin weather was horrible, and you guys, you made it here. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, on the way over, there was quite a bit of rain, so
nobody can drive in the rain.
Yeah, you couldn't see more than like 20 feet in front of us. So
they turn the flashers on and they go with 5 miles per hour, which is good. If you want to be safe, you should do that. You know, you can go fast in the rain. But welcome to the show, guys. You are so young, and I met you at the SaaS Stock, and you have an amazing application and the company. First of all, let's talk about why the heck did you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur?
I was, I think, like 16 playing video games, and
as all 16 years olds do.
Yes, like way too much. One of my friends was like, "Have you ever made a website or done anything like that?" And I was like, "No, but I think I could. Like I've been using technology for so long, and I used to make like modifications to games when I was really little, like 12." So then designed a few websites, and then he's like, let me introduce you to my friend. He lives in Silicon Valley, and he lives on a couch, and he's living this life. So he let me call this guy, and I was friends with him for like a solid year. I still am. I talk to him occasionally, but just he explained the whole startup life, and I was like, I want to do that. So then I like designed some sites with him, and then eventually
what attracted you to that? What was that you said, I want to do that? Sleeping on the couch?
Yes, it's like working so hard for something. Like you want this to work no matter what, and it's every day you're solving problems, and I love to solve problems. That's why I like to code, because that's all it is at the end of the day. You're given a problem or a task, and you just solve it the best way you can.
And that's actually drives you, right?
Yes, every day.
Every day you get up and basically, you do coding.
Yes, like 7 a.m. this morning.
Oh my God, God bless you. But, I'm really proud of you. You're very young, 20s, you're 20s, and you're doing a fantastic job. And I can tell you, being an entrepreneur is not easy. Been there, done that, 30 years, but it's rewarding. And as you said, you get up and you solve problems. And then when you joined David?
So we met about 2 years ago. I was working for a remote accelerator, and I was noticing a lot of, it was a remote accelerator, so we'd be working with international startups. And a lot of companies, specifically in India, were coming to us and looking to go to market in the US. And so I reached out on a Discord called r/startups. And David actually messaged me about wanting to build a startup. And so we put together a international software marketplace for companies overseas to go to market in the US. And we're able to get about 15 softwares on it initially. So that's how we first met.
And why you decided to be an entrepreneur or a startup founder?
Yeah, so I would say that a lot of people just kind of come to us with problems in general. And so just solving problems, as he said.
Solving problems?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have good times and bad times. What are the good times and bad times?
They often are like very convoluted, I guess. They're always, there's very good, very stressful times. And there's also very bad, very stressful times. But I think the good times are when we're tasked with like building this specific thing and everything just worked perfectly. It's still stressful because you're like anything that could go wrong, but it just when things go nice and smooth for for an event or something. And I think those are some of the good times.
Did you have a moment at part of your day that you said, that's it, I'm throwing the towel, I'm done, I give up, or it's not worth it? Did you have that moment?
That's every day.
That's every day?
There's
oh
always,
my God, thanks for your honesty.
There's always a point in the day. It's always like late.
And then what gets you going there?
Well,
because
like
that comes to your mind, and then you
Yes.
said, heck, I want to keep going.
Yes, like last night, I was coding until I think 1 a.m. But at like 9 p.m., I'm like, what am I even doing this all for? I could just go and do like some consulting and just be happy with that. But like I'm working just absurd hours sometimes, and I love it. But it's also when it gets that late, I feel like you just can't think straight. So I wouldn't ever want to make like a decision at that point in the day either. It'd have to be something early in the morning. I would be like, why would I do this?
Okay, you work better at nights. What is this? Most programmers are good at nights. Like they like the nightlife.
Yeah.
You know, they get a laptop, kiss the dog, they go to town and they start pounding on their laptop.
I like mornings.
Really?
Yes. I
How
like
about you,
getting up
David?
early.
Do you code or anything?
Yeah, I've built some web applications and done some of the front end development for the website.
And you both are the front face of the company as well as the sales and marketing, and on the back too?
Yeah, it's just me and him.
Well, how do you manage that? You know, being in the front as a spokesperson, promote your product that you did on the SaaS stock, and being in the back, because you have to have two different mentalities, two different set of skills. Being a promoter, sales and marketing, and being a programmer and a coder. Like I can't do that. I studied like a management information system. I know a little bit from everything. I don't want to code that. I'm a front guy. You put me in the room with a laptop, I shoot myself.
Yeah, I think a large part of it too is understanding the product and the problem that it solves. And so since we are building the product, we can talk about it, right? We can tell you the problems that it solves. So at a lot of conferences and events, the internet's usually pretty bad. So when you go to connect with someone, a lot of times you're missing that connection due to the lack of internet. So that's why we've built the system over SMS to solve that problem. So I can say, hey, try it out, demo it there, but then I also know on the back end how it's working.
And walk me through how your product works. Any of you can answer to it. Like how this product works. What are the benefits, and how it's going to help people? Basically, you're creating a value.
Yeah. So just a high level overview of how it works. People scan your QR code that we automatically generate for you in app, which is now live on the App Store. And then once that person scans it, they're able to send their work email or email to you, and it syncs directly with the app so that after the conference or event, you're able to follow up and set a meeting or whatever your call to action is for that event.
Okay, I have seen it. I told you before, some other companies like Popple or Dot, all that stuff is something like that.
It's similar to digital business cards, except theirs are web-based. And like I said, I was going to conferences and events, and there was a lot of friction due to the fact the internet wasn't working. And so over SMS, that's not an issue.
That happened to me. When you have a weak Wi-Fi, they couldn't scan my wristband.
Yeah, exactly. So that the SMS mitigates that issue.
How about this? A lot of people, they don't want to give out their phone number. Is that right?
Yeah. So we have a privacy switch in the app that lets you disable sharing phone number.
Okay, and then how are you going to share the info through email?
It still texts them. It just doesn't share the phone number.
But I still get the text from the people. Oh yeah, the other side.
Yeah, the Twilio sends the message.
How did you come up with that functionality based on the feedback? Or you just said it's a good function to have?
It's just a good to have.
And a lot of people out there, they start, they want to build products, they want to do things, but I believe that you have, we call it, system development life cycle, or I'm sure you have something in the product life cycle that how you started. How did you start that? You want to sketch the product, say, okay, I have this idea. Now what is next? Because a lot of people, they're going to listen to this podcast or the show or watch the show. They might be thinking to doing their own product. What advice do you have? Because you went through that route. You failed, you did it again, you wrote it. What advice do you have for those people? You do like a market analysis first, or how you build your product. You have an idea, but that doesn't mean that idea is going to fly.
Yeah, so we validated the MVP by just doing QR codes initially, where it would just text you the information. Then we were able to do a few events. People really liked it, so we continued to build from there.
What do you think?
The initial idea was just we buy a bunch of these like black cards, and they had no logo, nothing on them, but they're NFC. And we got like a few hundred of them. And I went to a conference. I went to the same conference last year, and I just had tons of them. And we would attach the NFC to them and just give them out. So then I had people swarming me, and I was giving away a lot of cards. But then we realized it's not that useful because you're not getting anything out of it, the cards, because the cards were just like press send for info, and people would just press send. Like, okay, well, we're not getting your email, we're not getting your name. We have no way of like connecting with the person who owns the card besides here's their phone number, and that's it. And here's when you met. Just not much that useful. So then it expanded to now we're making it more of a connection, because now you can say, well, here's what I'm wanting to give to you, and here's my info back. So it grew in that way.
When you work on the product, you both worked on the product development, or one was designing, one was coding?
I would say he does the majority of the coding.
And then you do the design?
Yeah.
Or,
I do a lot of the quality testing and some of the front end development of like the marketing parts of the website, and then a lot of the marketing and outreach.
One of the questions I always get, or I ask other people as well, that they fall in love with their own product. Is that right? Or it has to work for the audience? This is like, they say don't get high on your own product. Mm-hmm. It's just like that. How important is that? And I want you to tell it to listeners that, how important is that really? That put your egos aside and think about the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're constantly asking for feedback from users, just because that's what we prioritize is user feedback, and obviously making a good product. So we're continually using it ourselves to find ways to improve it, but then also asking other users and always asking for feedback. So,
and you relay that to you as far as, hey, we got these adjustments. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He's a bit better at seeing it in a wider lens. Sometimes he comes to me and he's like, we have to change this, and I'm like, no, we can't change that. That's perfect. I love the way this is. And then he's that's making me change it. And I'm like, okay, I was like, I trust you on this. And then we change it, and it was based on true data, and it improves, and people start to use it better.
This is great that I'm sure, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because most of the founders or co-founder, they, the divorce rate is high between the founding members of the startups or any companies, but how you guys, I know you just said it, oh, this is perfect, but why you were open to it, to a change, that he brought it to your attention and says, hey, we have to tweak it this way, and I promise you it's going to work. How you build that trust, because you need to trust each other. It's a long haul marriage. Mm-hmm. It started from the startup, and you're going to be $1 million, $2 million, $10 million a company. You still, you're going to go back and forth, and other people that come in between you guys too. You might later down the road hire the product development guy or another coder. How you going to work with that guy? Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about all that stuff?
Yeah. So for right now, the way we're doing a lot of the development and sort of looking at things is we use the lean startup ideas and concepts. Yeah. And so just being able to kind of validate things really quickly, and if it works, then continue to go down that road, but not really leaning into anything too much until we know that it's kind of working. So yeah.
As far as the price wise, you said this is free, or it's got a price right now?
So we have two different products. We have what we're calling SMS business cards, which shares your information. And then we have an enterprise offering where marketing teams at conferences and events can qualify leads by having them text these dynamic smart forms. And so that's kind of variable pricing depending on the conference or event and a couple of other things. But
how this conference things works, like the people that put the conference together, they can buy the product from you and deploy it to the attendees?
Yeah, so we can work either directly with marketing teams going to conferences or events or directly with the organizers.
Okay.
And we've done both. So.
And have you done any big conference?
No, nothing bigger than 200 or 300 people that we've worked directly with.
How that worked? It was good?
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot?
Yeah.
Every time.
How that works for the individuals, like the other different package that you have?
Yeah, so you can just download the app and start sharing your information right away.
And because you showed me something, but you can give them the card or they have to buy the card. How that works? It's just the app.
The card is extra. It's just a product. But the app itself, it's free.
Or the app is free. And then you have that app on your phone. And if somebody wants to, get a hold of you, it's going to save your contact. They just need to scan that QR code.
Yeah, exactly. And then they can send their information to you over text and it syncs with the app.
But can you just customize the interface, like in your end, which is a front end, as soon as they open, as soon as they scan the QR code, do they see a customized UI interface or no?
So it opens the message thread, and then when they send the message, it texts back your business information or whatever information you want to share. So a lot of entrepreneurs share their LinkedIn or Instagram or just your website. So whatever the call to action is from the event, let's say that you have a specific landing page made for SaaStock. You could have a SaaStock link. They click on it, and then whatever information you want to share for SaaStock will be there.
Well, basically, I can create my own web landing page and put that link. As soon as they scan it, it will go to that landing page that has got all my information.
So it texts them whatever information is
that
on your
link.
profile. Yeah, so you can text links, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're trying to share.
Yeah, you can say, like, here's the link to my information.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for connecting.
Yes.
You're just building a text message, basically.
Okay, basically, that's what I'm trying to get. The whole foundation of this application is based on text messaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
It's got it. And is that the only way you guys are going to work on, just the text messaging, or you're going to just expand it to, I don't know, something else?
Yes. So for some of the other products, like the forms, we've put it online on websites and made that customizable. Just being able to choose like a logo on a site or something like that.
What do your parents are thinking about you doing this? Be honest. Because I am asking you, this is like the parents, they say, what the heck are you doing? Are you making money? You go work somewhere. You're talented. You're a programmer. You're going to be mechanical engineering degree. You're going to have that. Why the heck you doing that? All this stuff. A lot of you are watching this. I'm telling you, the parents, they're going to say that. Some they're going to support you. Some they're going to say, what the heck are you doing? Mm-hmm. What are your parents telling you?
So they're supportive of it, and they know what I'm working on, mostly, I think. But I send them updates every once in a while. I'm like, we have an app on the App Store. Go download it. And they sent back just like a heart, and they're like, nice. I'm like, well, thanks.
Are they supporting you financially as a startup, or you just put it like a sweat, tear, and blood?
I still live at my parents' house, so I get housing and I get food, which is very nice.
Man, that's good. Thank you to your mom and dad. How about you?
Yeah, my parents have been supportive. They think it's a good idea, so they are very supportive because they know the issues that come to when it comes to business networking and kind of the current issues with business cards and shifting over to that digital landscape. So they think it's a good idea.
How did you start that conversation with your parents the first day? Hey, mom, dad, I got this idea and I'm finding Horacio and we're going to do this. How that worked? How did you start that conversation?
I don't think I brought it up to them until...
You just let them have it?
Well, I don't think I told them really about anything until I was going to fly out to Austin. So yeah, I kind of just sprung a lot at them. I was like, they knew I was doing like some company because I told them I had like some contracts to sign, and they were just like, okay. Then later on, I'm like, I have to fly to Austin. There's a conference. I need to be there. And hold on, where are you going to live? Is there a hotel? And I'm like, no, I'm just going to go live with this person I met online. It'll all be great.
Oh my God. Well, can you trust him? Is it going to kill you?
It was all good. They FaceTimed Horacio, and
How you spoke with your parents about this?
I mean, they've known that I'm an entrepreneur, so.
You've been doing it longer. You're
I had
a bit older than David. Yeah.
Yeah. In college, I had a bamboo clothing line that I
Really?
had made.
I always loved that. You know, they were so soft.
Yeah.
They were so soft and expensive, right?
Yeah.
Why so expensive? Because of the bamboo? Because of the nature of the plantation, or?
Yeah. So I believe that the material that it's made out of is harder to get, but I'm not actually 100% sure why it's more expensive. But.
I can tell you that, and I have seen so many entrepreneurs, mentor them, talk to them. The environment that you are in is so important. Like when you leave your supportive parents, you're blessed. Without no joke, like your parents are awesome that they're supporting you. They're not stopping you. Even the friends, I'm sure you had friends that they would say, "What the heck are you doing, David? What are you doing? What is this? You're getting mechanical engineering. What you do? What is this? And what is this? Like a QR code? This is text messaging." I'm sure you had that, Horacio, too. And as you get older, like you're gonna catch up soon. You get older, you're gonna have more pressure because you're thinking, "My time is running out. My time is running out." Do you feel that your time is running out, or you're just starting? You're just warming up?
I mean, I feel like I'm just starting just because of the skills we've learned and the people that we've met. So especially with the current sort of technological shifts with AI and stuff as well. So I think we're going to start catching some significant tailwinds kind of in the next 5 to 10 years.
Because some of those shifts, like beside the environment, your physical environment and the people around you, those like other things like AI, the rise of the AI is going to really figure. Do you guys thinking that to adapt something? I'm sure you can adapt something from AI, but what is that going to be? I don't know.
Yeah. So we do use AI in our product some, and we're going to continue to adopt more AI as it becomes viable for our product.
What you guys are using right now AI for? I don't want you to tell you the secrets, but
yes, it's mainly to understand like what are you texting, or to figure out your name or your company, because whenever you're texting, it's very open-ended. Like if you're filling out a form online, there's very specific boxes. Your name goes here.
Yeah.
But in a text message, some people, they'll like write in, it says enter your name and work email, and then they'll put in like their phone number. And we can't put like their phone number as their name. So we use some systems to figure out what they're trying to say.
What is your take on AI? Because you're a young generation, and for older people like me, when I grew up with for you guys, I had a flip phone. I had the first big Sprint phone came out. It was huge, and we had a pager. You had to go to find the phone booth and call, put a cord in, and respond to your page. I grew up like that. But for you guys that you're in the AI and all these changes, how you adapt, and are you constantly studying, reading? Do you actually like AI, or you don't like it? Do you think it's going to hurt or it's going to help?
I think it's going to help a lot. It's just increases productivity a significant amount. When it comes to like small things, even like marketing, like you can ask it what the optimal call to action button will be, and it'll make some small adjustments that could end up having pretty significant effects, where it would have taken a while to actually figure out what the best call to action button would be, or just examples like that, where it's able to, at a significantly higher level, find the right answer or a better answer, I guess.
Basically, you do a lot of research.
Yeah, you're able to do a level of research at a speed that you couldn't before.
What do you think on that?
I used to not like AI.
Oh, really?
Really was like,
why?
You should use it. It's great. And I was so against it. And I started using it, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. And I started using it every day. And now it's part of my workflow. I can't, like, every day I use so much AI.
Why you didn't like it at first?
Well, I think I used like ChatGPT 3.5, and it was just wrong a lot. I was like, I'm pretty new to this subject, and yet this system, which is meant to be super smart, very wrong. But it's gotten so much data now that a lot of the time it's like, wow, I did not even think of that.
I think the rise of AI is good, but I always look at the new technology as a new tool, like Instagram, Facebook. They're all tools, but the most important thing is your product. Is your product and how you're going to help other people and how you're going to create that value. If you make my life easier by sharing just my information so quick by a text messaging and not sharing my phone number, or if I want to share my phone number with that person, okay, that's good. Then I love to use that product. And most of the startups, they just don't understand the value proposition. Like, they have to create that value. You got to give it. I talked to one of them and I said, what differentiates you? They said, oh, we are cheaper. Pricing is not really a differentiation point. Do you agree?
I think it depends on the level of price difference, I guess. Like if it's 90% cheaper, then I think that could be a differentiator, but it's, I don't think it would be a good talking point.
Like, for example, I'm asking you, what is your differentiation point?
Yeah, the major few ones are it's less friction, less steps, it's faster, and it's easier to find after a conference or event.
Because I told you compete with big guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. Trust me. I have seen it. I heard it. Everything is. What makes you so confident that you're going to keep going?
Yeah. So like I said, I was using the other solutions before. And
what were you using, if you don't mind asking?
I was using another digital business card. It was a web-based one, or I tried all of them. And
just for the product research?
No. This is the inspiration for the company. Was I was using the other products, and it just wasn't really. I ended up basically missing a lot of like contact exchanges, and people would lose my information. They'd reach out, and so that's why we initially started building it.
Like, is that right that you start building a product when you don't find a solution for something that you are looking for? Exactly, yeah. Yeah, there are always, I remember, they say this, that go build something that you needed and is not out there.
Yeah.
That was your case, right?
Yep.
And how was your feedback on that? Because I'm sure you guys will talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, going back a little bit, I think the biggest key difference is you're guaranteed to get the person's information. Like if I take you to a web page and I had like a card that I would tap to you and goes to a website, they have to fill out a form for you to know anything about them. Like if they decide, cool, I'll just bookmark this, I'll come back to it later, and they never do, you have nothing you can do to follow up unless you remember their name or you remember something about them, and you have to look them up, you have to find them, and you have to do this. But then we'll simplify that for you. If they get your information, you will get theirs. So you have a way to follow up with them no matter what.
And as you know, follow-ups are so important. Like after SaaS Talk today, I was spending probably an hour and a half to just follow up with the people that reach out to me, or I reach out to them, and we set up a meeting. I already have 2 meetings from the SaaS Talk today. The follow-up is important. If you solve that, I think that's a big thing. Where do you see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years?
Or 5 years?
2 to 5 years, I see Boop being the easiest way to exchange and connect at conferences and events.
How about you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve at first for it because it's very new to people. When they get tapped something, they're so used to being like, oh, a website. But then they're like, text message, what's going on here? Hopefully in 2 to 5 years, it'll be a common thing where, oh, this is Boop.
Yeah. And when we start to partner with more conferences and events, there won't be as much of a learning curve, because if we have the profile set up beforehand, it's only 2 steps to connect. You don't have to fill anything out. You just scan and click and you're connected. So it's pretty much the easiest way to connect possible when both people are in the system.
Now, do you have any exit strategy in place?
We've started thinking about it, but it's too far in the future.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good that you start talking about it.
Yeah, we just pushed the app to the App Store a couple days ago, so it's obviously pretty early.
Was it hard to get it to the App Store? I heard that they give you sometimes hard time.
I mean, they just want to make sure that everything's perfect. There's no bugs. It works on all the devices that you saying it will work. Every button works. They'll try everything, and then they'll tell you.
How about the legality of things?
Yeah. You have to fill out everything extensively, privacy, terms of service, all of that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Apple App Store. So
that because the legal things about the users, term of use, privacy policy, all that stuff. And did you get any help from anybody for that? Or
we've used extensive tooling and stuff like that for it.
Who fills in your startup costs? You guys?
Yeah, right now we're just
bootstrapping?
Savings. Yeah, bootstrapping and savings.
Really? That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Because a lot of startups out there, I'm sure a lot or maybe few, a couple of angel investors, VCs, or bootstrapping. Is it really hard?
It's becoming easier.
Sacrifices?
Yeah, it's becoming easier with AI and with creative sort of different ways to acquire users. Like you said, the plastic cards that we were doing were only 20 cents, right? So we're able to acquire users at a really low, through a really low sort of CAC strategy, to where other VC-backed companies will be spending a lot more, where we can go and get users for 10 to 20 cents.
That's pretty good, Who does the marketing? Both of you?
I do most of the marketing.
And then you do most of the backend and programming.
Mm-hmm.
And right now you can handle by yourself everything? Because you get to the point that you have to kind of pivot or do this, or you need more help. You guys are thinking about that?
Yeah, right now we've been able to do just fine. We do have the assistance of AI, obviously. There's a lot of AI tooling out there that's, like I said, it's making it a lot easier for less and less people to do more stuff. So that's why we're pretty optimistic about AI.
One of the things, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because one of the things I tell people that you still can learn through the process. I'm sure as a coder, you learn through the process of building this, because come on, you don't know everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know everything. Horacio doesn't know everything. And nobody knows everything, but we always need to learn from others, or from other resources, or individuals, or reading, whatever it is. One of the things that I always tell these founders that you really need to be open to ask for help. Usually the founders and co-founder, one is technical, one is like front face of the company, going out there, do sales and marketing. It's very rare that you can find both are really technical, and if they are technical, one of them has to step up and say, hey, I want to take over the marketing and branding, which is, it still comes down to how we're going to execute that. So as I'm sure you are open to feedbacks as from your clients, from your friends. Do you guys have any mentors, technical mentors or anything?
I have a few
like
people that I frequently
Lifeline
ask, or I guess I used to ask a bunch when I was just getting into programming, and they had jobs at big tech. I would always ask them something, and I mean, I learned a bit from that. But a lot of programming is just, a lot of people say, I'm wanting to program, I don't know how, I don't know what to watch. The big thing is start a project, like have something that you want to make and just make it. And that's like the only way to learn programming.
Okay, this is the first project you touch, or you start the programming? Okay. What was the first one?
A Minecraft.
No, you said
plugin.
I want to what? Minecraft?
Yeah, Minecraft plugin when I was
really
12.
That's pretty. He's pretty smart, man. Yeah. How about you?
So, as far as like hardware goes, I was building computers for a while. I could always make my own computers, and then I started exploring and building like some small extensions and stuff like that. At my previous job, did a lot of CRM, custom application development work. Would integrate stuff a lot and automate stuff a lot. So, kind of just over the past 10 years, have been experimenting and building stuff internally for previous jobs.
And you guys are not in Austin.
You
are in Austin. Yeah, you are in Austin. And you are not in Austin.
Yes, I'm in Orlando.
Okay, how that's working between you two guys? Because is it more like when you're not here, I know you come to visit, but when you're not here, you do a lot of FaceTiming or Zoom, or what is it?
A lot of phone calls all the time.
Really?
Like call at 8 a.m., call at like 1 p.m. Just anytime anything comes up, just immediately like call.
Yeah. How you guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just direct communications.
The reason that I'm asking, a lot of people do not understand. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to especially go found a company, and being is going to be brutal. And you have done it. You have done it. The nights that you stay up and you do all this research and development, and you do all the coding. Hey, what is this? What is that? It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's enjoyable though, right? Because we're learning new things and we're trying to put something new into the world. So I think taking together a lot of creative solutions to put something out there that doesn't exist yet is exciting, and that's part of the reason why we do it, right?
But if somebody comes to you and say, "Hey, Horacio, I want to be an entrepreneur," what would you tell that person?
I think it depends. I would ask them some questions if why, because a lot of people think that it sounds cliche because everyone thinks it's glorious, but it's 90% of the time it's not enjoyable. But I'd say about 10% of the time it's extremely enjoyable, and so it just depends on what the motivations are, I think.
How about you, David? If somebody comes to you and say, "Hey, David, I see you're having a company, man. You were a founder at age like 21. You're going to be 21 very soon. You're 21, and I want to be like you. I want to really be a startup founder. I want to be an entrepreneur." What would you tell that person? They might listen to you right now.
Find an idea. A lot of people have like an idea that everything has been already like made or thought out, but it really hasn't. There's so many problems in the world. So just find a problem and try it out. I mean, you'll see very quickly if you enjoy it or not by just trying it out. It's less of like, do I want to be a founder or not? Do I want to try that? Just do it, and you can stop.
At what point you guys are looking to raise money?
Probably in the next 3 months when we really validate sort of our go-to-market.
Right now you are in the like a MVP?
Yeah, so we've done a few official activations for different events and conferences where it's paid. So we just need to continue to do more.
And that work, I'm sure you had a couple of bugs or no?
No, it went pretty smoothly.
Really?
Yeah,
that's pretty good for
a lot of testing.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of testing. I've probably used the product on 700 or 800 people. So
you just mentioned testing. How important is that? As far as I'm looking as a programmer, is that how important is testing before you go to market? Because some people, they're gonna rush, get it to the market. We're gonna make the deadline. We gotta go to market. How important do you really? If he comes to you, and says that, hey, we're gonna go to market. You got 2 days, and you said, I think I should look at this again. I got to test it line by line and see what's going on. What would you say? How you guys do it? Because this is a problem between a lot of founders and co-founders. The things one wants to go out, one wants to hold the horse back and say, "Let me test it."
Yes, I think it's a balance. I mean, there's some times where you got to know what the balance is. Like if we're pushing out a new feature for bunch of different users to try out this brand new thing, and we're going to an event and just going to hand it to a few people. If it doesn't work and I find out right then, I could fix it like on the fly. Great. I live testing. But for the more important things where there's like official activations, you cannot mess that up. So it's a lot of testing for that. But so, I mean, it's a balance of what's going to happen if it messes up.
What is your take on that, Horacio?
On product testing?
Yeah.
So,
how important is that?
It's really important. It's very important that it works, especially in enterprise situations. So we test it quite a bit beforehand, different scenarios, have whoever's using it test it, and make sure everything's working. So
as I said, like you deploy something and you go out there and it's not working, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's one of those products too that's very demoable, right? So it's either working or it's not. You scan it, you see it's working, or you scan it and it's not working. So we know if it's working or not.
Did you get a good feedback on SaaS Talk?
Yeah, we got some potential partnerships out of it.
You guys, you did like a demos there, or just
yeah, live demos.
Really?
Yeah, he's wearing a shirt that says "Scan my shirt," basically.
We're right now.
Who came up with logo? It's a nice logo.
We had a person reach out to us, and his name was Daniel, and he did a month-long internship.
Really, that's pretty good. And why you have the curve?
So the whole idea is that it's two O's connecting.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a connection.
And what is the next step for you guys? Where do you see yourself right now? Not in 2 to 5 years. Like, what is the immediate thing?
Just working with more marketing teams for conferences and events.
And what kind of company do you want to work with, or anybody that listen to this and say, oh, this is the two guys, I want to give them a chance. I want to work with them. Maybe I have a lot of friends that are investors or angel investors that we see. Say, hey, these guys are good. Who are you looking for to work with?
Yeah, people who want to have more engaging conference activations or event activations where they effectively are looking to engage the crowd in a way that has, for example, during South by, people, when they were using it, were saying, we've never seen technology like this, as they were texting it back. So
your target audience more like a conferences, conventions, festivals, something like that.
Yeah.
Like a 20, 80 that 20 individuals. How that works?
So it's just any conference or event where a sponsor has like a booth or any sort of display or like a trade show, and they're trying to engage the audience, but also collect information to qualify the contacts.
But you want to work with the individuals too. Like if I need app, so I can download it and I use it for my personal.
Yeah, exactly. So the app is self-serve. The idea is that it's supposed to be kind
you
of
have a self-service, and you have
Exactly. Yeah. So anyone can download the app, go and start right away, and then just start networking by anyone they meet. And anytime they scan that QR code, whatever's on the profile,
that's a great way of marketing that.
Gets them. Yeah.
Because one of the things I think most of the founders or startup founders, they don't understand. You got to let people try your product. Yeah. They go right off the bed, they go out there, they put a price on it, at least have a free tier. If you have a tier pricing, have a free tier that people, they can go and actually test it, like driving a car. You're going to test drive the car before you buy it. I think you guys are doing it right, that you let these people go download the app and then test it, and they like it. Oh, wow, I can use this in my next event. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I can use it even for 50 people event too if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can even use it just at a casual, like anywhere. You meet someone, you need to exchange information. It's probably the easiest way, most frictionless way right now. And it's universal too, right? So it's on Android and iOS, yeah.
Oh, is it Android? I thought
yeah,
it was
and
just
so it kind of bridges that gap if you have an Android phone to someone with an iPhone.
Like you can do a communication between iPhone and Android?
Yeah.
Not just iPhone, Android.
Exactly, yeah. So it's universal.
If you have any advice, I always ask at the end of the show that if you have any advice for your fellow entrepreneurs or the people who are listening to this show or this podcast or watching, what kind of advice you have for the people in your age that they're going to go and they're going to try to be entrepreneur and, I want to start my own company. What are the first step, or what are the first steps that they have to take or think about? What are they?
I'd just say get started as soon as possible and just start validating any ideas or problems you have. You can do it through wait lists or just outreach. I mean, you don't necessarily need to build a product to validate an idea.
Really?
Yeah, you can go ask 100 people if they have that problem, and then if they're willing to give you their email for a problem you might solve in a month, that's at least a level of validation there.
How about as far as the coding perspective, the coding guy perspective? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just, if you're my age, just know that you know nothing, and there's so much to learn. Like every day is just something new.
In my old days, we didn't have what you have. Now it's a YouTube university. You have a Chat GPT, write a program for. We didn't have anything. We had to go read a book, or go ask, or take like actual physical classes. No, but as you mentioned, so much resources out there that people can use to learn and grow personally and professionally. But you guys are amazing, and I wish you the best of luck because, your company is going to work, and the worst case scenario that if it doesn't work or work half, whatever, you learn something, and this is your first experience that you're going through.
First time full-time.
First time full-time, yeah. And if you're going to put all your sweat, blood, and tears into it, just do it. Go for it all the way. And you're in 20s. Another 10, you got to be in 30s. Another 10, you got to be in 40s. Another 10, you got to be 50s. You know what? How many years is that? Dear Lord, it's 30 years. And some people, they say, oh, I'm too old. That's messed up. You got so much time. Not you, a lot of people out there that are listening, and you are a witness of it. You're doing it. And a lot of other people, they want to do it too. But the time is what we have. And you said, just do it now. And what are you going to lose? What is the worst case scenario? You're going to be you're going to be the same place you were yesterday. Nothing changed. But thank you so much, guys, for coming all the way down here, talk to me. And I really enjoyed my conversation yesterday, today, and I wish you the best of luck. You guys are going to kill it. And this is my advice. Just keep going.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a beautiful studio.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure being here.
Oh, thank you. Just keep going. Keep doing what you love. Don't stop. You failed. Get up. Do it again. Do it again. There's no such thing as failure. You just try something, doesn't work, you do it again. That's the whole thing. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.